YouTube, hello, how's it going? Episode number 25 of our FIFA 23 career mode with 1860 Munich. We are back, and today it is going to be the transfer window, the summer transfer window to be specific, and it is a very important one because it is our first transfer window with us being a Champions League side. We somehow miraculously qualified for the Champions League last season, and we have a lot of work to do. The big things we got to do: shore up our defenders, definitely shore up our defense, and then go from there. And also, I want to say big shout out to the comment section for some help with kind of just figuring out the squad, figuring out who we could possibly bring in. Off camera, I looked through the entire squad. I figured out who we could maybe retrain, who we could look to get rid of. So all that stuff is set up and ready to go, which is wonderful. And then as far as the actual transfer window goes, I think the plan is generally look who we can get rid of, and then that's going to help determine what positions we need to strengthen. We also have 75 million euros to start the transfer window with. And then whatever we bring in, we'll figure it out from there and see how much money we have. I also want to just acknowledge the fact that it has been a little bit since I have uploaded an episode. I said when we recorded episode 24, it'll be a couple days until I record this one. Here's the thing. Then I got a really bad ear infection, like really bad, to the point that it just knocked me on my tuchus for a couple of days there. So I literally couldn't even sit in front of a computer screen with headphones on and all that stuff. So my apologies for that delay, but we're back and I'm recording it now and I'll get it uploaded and edited very quickly. So yeah, without further ado, I think I've waffled enough. So let's properly get into our transfer window, shall we? So I also realized we never looked at the standings for the big boy leagues. So we'll start with England, and Liverpool wins the league on 89 points, Man U on 84, Chelsea just behind them, Man City on 80, and then Arsenal 67. So that drop off between the top four and the rest of the league pretty big. So no surprises really in England, to be honest, as far as who's getting relegated. Leicester, Brentford, Middlesbrough, no surprise there. You could maybe argue a little bit of a surprise with Leicester, but still, nonetheless. Let's move on to Ligue 1, and PSG win the league. Surprise, surprise. Lyon, 84 points, so 7 back of them. Marseille behind them, then Nice, Stade Reims to round out the top 5. Monaco just missing out by a single point on Europe as far as who's getting relegated. Stade Brest, Ajaccio, Metz, Bordeaux. We should probably look at the second Bundesliga. Werder Bremen coming up with Köln and Augsburg. And then the third Bundesliga, it is Dynamo Dresden, Kaiserslautern, and Magdeburg. Should we look at Serie A? We should. Juventus win the league pretty easily. Then it's Napoli, Inter, Fiorentina, and Roma, with Lazio finishing 6th. And then what about Holland? Ajax win the league, the literally least surprising thing ever. Feyenoord on 79 points, so 12 behind Ajax, and then it's PSV and Twente rounding out the top 4. Portugal? Yeah, let's look at Portugal. Porto winning the league there, Sporting behind them, then Benfica, Boa Vista, and Braga rounding out the top 5. As far as any other leagues, let's look at Spain as well. Real Madrid take it on 89 points. Barcelona behind them by 5. And then the drop off to Atletico Madrid, pretty huge. Sevilla in 4th, and then Valencia 5th, and Real Betis in 6th. And then, yeah, that's about it. So there you go. There are the results from the other leagues. I think we should maybe also, I don't think we looked at the final results in the Bundesliga, so we should probably do that as well. Bayern Munich win the league by 9 points. I mean, Yeah, not surprising at all. Leverkusen on 71. But I think what is surprising is basically the rest of the table. So Leverkusen, 71. Wolfsburg, they're on 68. We finished 3 behind Wolfsburg. Frankfurt finished a single point behind us. And then Dortmund round out the European spots in 6. Stuttgart, 55. Leipzig, 54. And then as far as who is getting relegated is going to be Paderborn, 13 points, Hamburg on 14, and then Hoffenheim finish on 25, so they are out as well. Wow. Yeah, 13, 14. Hamburg and Paderborn. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. So we are going to move on, advance, and start the whole transfer window proper. All right, so I've been looking for players as you do during a transfer window, and I just wanted to acknowledge some comments because, you know, why not? MXMRNR064, I hope I got that right. They gave me some good suggestions, I think. They said bring in Marius Wolf, who is from the 1860 youth team, along with Max Vitek, who also used to play for the 1860 youth team, and then Udo Okai, also used to play for the 1860 youth team. Udo Okai is a center back. The other two are fullbacks. Admittedly, I don't know so much about the two fullbacks, mostly because both of them are kind of on the older side, and we have good depth at the fullback positions. But Udo Okai is definitely tempting. I'm scouting all of them, so we might bring them in for depth. Why? Why not? Why not? I'm not going to say no outright, but it's a possibility. Then they also said consider maybe bringing in Neuhaus or Weigl from midfield, as well as Burkhardt, who is a striker as far as a up-and-coming player goes. They're all from Mönchengladbach. Admittedly, Burkhardt, he was demonstrably more expensive than Wahi, so I thought Wahi was the better play there. And then as far as Neuhaus goes and Weigl, one, they're a little bit expensive. Two, I did a Master League with Mönchengladbach a little while ago, maybe about a year ago now almost. I did a Journeyman Master League, and we ended up at Mönchengladbach. They were the last team we played with, and Neuhaus and Weigl were both very important parts of that team. So I'm very familiar with them, and I kind of want to, as much as it's a different game, I kind of want to lean away from players that I've already played with. So those two, for just the sake of familiarity and budget, gonna skip out on them. But I really like the idea of bringing 1860 youth players back. So like I said, we're scouting the others. We'll see where it goes from there. We will see where it goes from there. All right, and first transfer immediately the next day. Juros Jankovic off to Turkey for 1.4 mil. There's going to be a lot of these kind of loans / transfers. Devin Sir, he went on loan to Bristol City. They wanted him permanently, so 750 grand for him. And then Kasmathieu is going to Anderlecht on a permanent deal for 3.75 mil. That's one that admittedly probably hurts the most. Mathieu was advancing and really progressing well at Anderlecht, and I did not know that there was an option. Again, shout out to the comment section. I know now. I did not know that there's an option. If you delegate loans, you can avoid the whole loan to buy situation. But here we are. Nonetheless, it brings in some money. So, not going to complain too much. I mean, this is basically going to be our... this is basically going to be the whole deal for a little bit here. Another transfer, 700 grand for Kocic. And, okay, now we're done. The initial slate of transfers. And it hasn't stopped yet. Charlie Webster also out. All of the teams, every single one of them is activating that release clause, that loan to buy clause. 1.6 mil for Charlie Webster. We are looking to maybe make him a depth player when he came back, but never mind. All right, we end the season and hopefully don't get fired. Okay, good. We don't. They're delighted with our performance. So we continue our job. Great. Awesome. I was teeny tiny bit worried that we might get fired, considering we didn't meet a lot of the objectives that the board set for us. But yeah, plan is definitely re-sign Wahi, and then after that, figure out the rest. All right, preseason is going to be this one because it gives us the most money, and it is going to be Leeds, Southampton, Osasuna, Udinese, Wolves, Newcastle, and then Torino to round out all the teams we're going to be playing. Alright, so this episode is scuffed, and I hate this so much. I have spent like the last 45 minutes, the last hour, reloading and trying to advance forward and see if it changes anything without actually making any transfers or anything. But look at this email, alright? We got this email today. 31.9 mil, an increase in our transfer budget, right? This gives us a total transfer budget of 43 mil. Now remember, last episode, they said, we're going to give you 75 million for the transfer budget, right? I even said it at the beginning of the episode. So we brought in Wahi, and that was 28 mil, right? So you're like, okay, sure, 28 mil. We should still have 43 mil, at least. No, we have 14. We have 14 million, which makes this entire thing, this entire transfer window very hard to pull off. Because where did the money go? I don't know. This feels broken. I don't like it. So, I don't know what happened to that nearly 30 million pounds. It didn't go away when we offered Wahi his deal, which is nearly 30 mil. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. A little bit sketchy, but nonetheless, whatever. It's fine. We'll make do, maybe. But there you see Wahi in for 28.8 mil. His market value was 31, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. They only give us a C, whatever. He has a deal of 71,000 per week. He also has a release clause of 60 mil, so that ain't too bad. And he is signed on for 5 years. So, a 22-year-old striker. He played really well for us last year. I thought he played really, really well for us last year. We just gotta hope that he doesn't get injured again, basically. So yeah, Wahi's in. You gotta maybe argue, considering that possible glitch where I lost 30 mil. Was it really worth it to get Wahi? I don't know. Because that's a huge chunk of our transfer budget. 28.8 mil out of 43 rather than 75. But it's fine. We needed Wahi, so I'll take him. Oh boy, Hector Bellerin. He was a free agent, and listen, he's a beautiful man. Basically, he is a meme signing, but he's also a fantastic player. He's an 80, I believe, overall right back. And yeah. Maybe with Bellerin in, we will be better at crossing. And, you know, Fati and, what's-his-face, DaCosta on the other side. I don't really know how much better they're gonna get. So, why not bring in Hector Bellerin? Why not? Do we need center backs? Yeah, but it's Hector Bellerin. Come on. Oh, and there's our beautiful boy, Hector Bellerin. Oh, that mustache, that hair, it's so good. So yeah, Bellerin is in officially. You love to see it. And also Patrick McCloskey. I couldn't turn this deal down. 9.2 mil from Feyenoord, pardon me. I mean, you know, yeah, do we need center backs? Yeah, but 9.2 mil. I can't even talk. It's so much money. 9.2 mil, it's a lot. I couldn't turn it down. So more transfers out, even though we should maybe be bringing players in. Olsen is out of here. He was a solid depth player for us, but yeah, with Bellerin coming in, we didn't need him. So he goes to Portimonense, who also picked up Webster earlier on in the offseason for 3.5 mil. We apparently could have got 6 mil for him. I didn't see the value. There was no indication of that, but nonetheless, we get 3.5 mil for him. And another player out. It is Paul, who is out of here. We're just trying to basically recoup that 30 mil that glitched out and we don't have. But he was also very much, yeah, he won us he got us into the Champions League. Espanyol came in and 5.6 mil. I will take it. I don't think he was ever going to get a chance, really, at anything more than a depth player. Galarza has the midfield locked up. He's gone up by 2 points. Draxler is still here and can play the midfield, and we have players in the youth academy. So Paul is out of here. And this one really hurts. This really hurts. We keep losing defenders as much as we need more of them. This one, unfortunately, was out of my hands, though. Morgala, he had a release clause of 8 mil, and Monza came in, and they grabbed him. And yeah, that one really hurts, because he was a homegrown, only 20 years old, homegrown defender that really looked to be developing well, and we arguably lose our best defender, and I hate it. I hate it a lot, so we really need to do a lot of rebuilding at the back now. All right, we at least kind of start to fix the problems at the back with Morgala and McCloskey going. McCloskey, I admit, maybe I shouldn't have sold him, but that 9 mil was so tempting. And then I didn't expect Morgala to go, so I mean, you know, it was just a ridiculous comedy of errors. But nonetheless, we do at least bring in one center back, Costa, a Brazilian center back from Lens. He comes in for 5 mil. So, you know, I can't complain too much. He's a 74 overall. He might improve. Felipe Costa, let's see if maybe he does improve from a 74. Let's see. No, 74. But nonetheless, slightly better than Morgala. Definitely better than Castro and Lombardi, who at the moment, until Costa came in, they were our 2 center backs, and you don't like that for the Champions League. So I think we definitely now have to keep looking for center backs, and we have to look for a veteran presence who is at least, like, I'm gonna say at least high 70s to low 80s. So I'm gonna keep looking, and we'll see what we can find. We have shored up our defense. We found a young center back from Hertha Berlin, Marton Dadai, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I really wanted to grab Udo Okai. I really did, but Augsburg just literally didn't want to get rid of him. They did not want to sell him. So we found this dude, and everybody else that I was looking at, more veteran players. They're just a little bit too expensive, and I think this dude for 13 mil is solid. Really solid. I am happy with it. 13.55 mil, pardon me. And that leaves us still with enough money to make another signing or two. So 76 overall center back. He also comes in as one of our best center backs. So you'll love to see it. I'm not going to complain too much about it. All right, we are taking on Everton in this friendly game. We will just show you the highlights as we always do for the friendlies. But yeah, let's get a new look squad-ish. So let's get into it. Wahi turning Zakaria Michel. Ball through from Hector Bellerin. Great 1-2. Across. Stopped, but the deflection goes in, and it is 1-0 for 1860. Stolen by Wahi. Wahi, who has become a permanent member of 1860 Munich this offseason, scores, and it's 2-0 in quick succession. Bellerin switching play. Herman through. Maric takes that down well. Maric, tight angle, put off the bar and in. Off. Ah, so good. That's so good. Chested down. Garner. Shot from Rebic, and I mean, it's not going to matter all that much, but Hiller should have stopped that 3-1. That's going to be the end of it. Comfortable win for 1860, 3-1. All right, we're taking on Fulham next. We absolutely dominated Everton. Hopefully, it'll be the same against Fulham. Playing a slightly rotated side. Let's get into it. Maric. Da Costa now. Da Costa. Frenezi's there. Frenesi couldn't get the ball, but Lockenmacher does. 1-0. That outlet pass. Chance here for Fulham, into the net. 1-1.
Well, he's certainly got ability. A lot of clubs have been in for him, but now he needs to fulfill that potential. He might just have to be patient, though.
Through for Da Costa. Da Costa. Lockenmacher turns. Lockenmacher shoots. Lockenmacher scores. Oh boy, that might be the goal of the series. That's disgusting. Galarza missed his slide tackle. Good ball through, and Traore could tie it up. Laid off. Shot. Goal. That's Castro. Castro. Castro, you absolute man. That's going to be it, isn't it? That is totally going to be it. It is. Castro cost us the game. So Lamami goes out as well to Braga for 5.5 mil. Arguably, maybe we shouldn't have got rid of Olsen and Lamami, but I said last episode I want to get rid of Lamami, so he is out of here. And we also bring in Edouard Michaud, a center mid from PSG, on loan, sight unseen, basically at 76 overall. He will essentially just be a rotational player, so can't complain about that at all. We also bring in Balagizi, pardon me, from Liverpool, only a 70, but also rotational player, center mid. So, yeah, can't complain about that one either. All right, we're taking on Celta, and we need to win this one, so let's get into it. Oh, nice little move there. Castro, you are a stinky poop head. And it's Wahi who is onside. Wahi across. Goal. 1-1. Garnacho is the goal scorer. Lockenmacher just right through the defense. Can't be stopped. Lockenmacher scores 2-1 early in the second half. Chance for Celta. That should not have gone in. 2-2. That's going to be it. 2 straight collapses from 1860. All right, we're going to call it there because admittedly I'm not feeling all that great. There was a lot of transfer window stuff, and also just that whole thing with me having to constantly reload the game to see if it would fix the glitch with the budget. Really took the wind out of me. So I'm going to call it there, and then we'll get into the season proper as well as the rest of the transfer window next episode. And we start with a Super Cup game against Bayern, who won the league last time around whilst we won the DFB Pokal. And then we have another game against Bayern right after that to open the season proper. Then it is Werder Bremen, Stuttgart after that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the friendlies, we will sim. And Eintracht Frankfurt and Köln to end us off. So we'll definitely do at least one of those Bayern games, probably the season opener for one of the extended highlights, and then we'll figure out the other one. But yeah, not too bad when it comes to recovering from what I think was kind of a disaster when it comes to selling a lot of our defenders inadvertently and mysteriously losing 30 million. So yeah, Not the worst. Not the worst. So there you go. End of the episode. Thank you for watching. Do all that algorithmy stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and comment section. I still need your help with transfers. We have the rest of the transfer window left. We have a couple of weeks, and we're starting the season next episode. So tune in for that. Do not forget that you are loved. You're amazing. Smooches to you, and I will see you very soon. All right? Mwah.